Welcome back to Prime News on HLN. Right now, cops in Portland, Oregon are on the hunt for a sex offender accused of kidnapping 2 women. Take a good look at Paul Evans Winklebleck, 42 years old. Now, police say the guy was just waiting for victims outside of a Snoop Dogg concert downtown. He allegedly, and everything, he got a picture of, by the way, he allegedly told these women he was a spotter for police and was there to get them home safely. His line basically, hey, let me drive you home. Cops will leave you alone. If you've been drinking, you don't have to worry about getting a drunk driving arrest. He was dressed in camouflage, somehow convinced them to let him drive their car. Fortunately, they were both able to escape, but Evans still on the loose. We're taking your calls on this, 1-877-TELL-HLN. Back with us to talk about this. Well, we welcome, by the way, Detective Mary Wheat, spokeswoman for the Portland Police Bureau, and also back with us, HLN law enforcement analyst Mike Brooks. All right, Mary, weren't the victims skeptical of this guy? I've never heard of a spotter. What did they say?
Well, they were skeptical at first, but he was very smooth and calm, and at first they declined, but then he approached them again and came up with a story that our police were actually on the street waiting for them, and if they left the parking lot, they could be arrested. And they were just going to leave their car there, and then he told them if they did, it'd be towed. So, you know, he came across believable and calm, and you know, he was able to get into their car.
Okay, so he approached on foot. He didn't have his own vehicle. Okay. So we see the picture of him. How'd they get a picture?
Well, that picture was taken with one of their cell phones, and it was in the initial stages, the first few minutes with him, before things had gone downhill. And they just thought that it was interesting to show their friends that someone from the police was actually helping them get home. And so it was kind of a fun type of picture.
Mike, real quick, when you see that picture of him, does that frighten you that he wouldn't try to cover his face or confiscate the cell phone or anything, that he's just saying, here I am?
Yeah, very brazen, very bold, Mike, you know, and basically it looks like he doesn't care. And, you know, as Detective Wheel tell you, most police departments don't have anything called spotters. In all my years, almost 27 years in law enforcement, D.C. police, the FBI, we never had spotters, Mike, coming out of concerts or anything at all like this.
Detective Wheel, let's get some more details out here. So he drives their car, then what? Then things take a violent turn, right?
Well, he starts to drive downtown a little bit, and it's going to take them to their home, and then he gets on one of our local freeways here and begins going southbound and drives for a while. Obviously, they start to realize that something isn't right, and at that point, then he pulls out a knife, and he forces one of the girls to take some pills. And I want to make sure that we're clear that we do not employ anyone like that at the Portland Police Bureau, and no one like that works for us, and we don't have spotters out there.
Yeah, let's be clear, Michael. You want to make that clear. We all, I've never heard of that as well. So, again, so how'd they escape? You've laid it. He goes down a gravel road, assaults one, the other woman escapes. What happened next?
Well, yeah, one of the women begins fighting with him, and pretty difficult struggle, and is able to get away from him and runs to a house that's in the area. While that's happening, the other woman struggles with him as well, and she is assaulted. And fortunately, he was distracted momentarily. She was able to get away and hide. And at that point, the people inside the home called 911. And the deputies from that area began getting out there, and he took off in that car, and then they found that car the next day in a field about 10 miles away.
A couple of things real quick, Mary. Are the 2 victims okay? You mentioned they took pills, they had a struggle with this guy. Are they doing okay?
They are. Their family's here with them, and they've been very cooperative, and everyone's just working together to try to locate the suspect. He's been on a rampage now for about a week and a half. Any
idea where he is?
We're following up on a lot of tips that are coming in, and we have an 800 number for any possible tips, and we're offering up to a $1,000 reward for any information that leads to the capture of the suspect.
Okay, Mike, real quick, we got about 15 seconds. We're talking about a convicted sex offender. Yeah. How do you ferret a guy like this out before he strikes again?
Well, Mike, I'm sure they have a lot of, you know, the address. If he's a registered sex offender, they have one address, Friends and Associates, Portland Police Department. They do a great job up there. I'm sure it's just a matter of time. But Mary, you said a rampage. Has he been involved in more than this incident?
Well, there were some things that are going on that happened within some associates of his, and there was a police report filed on another sexual assault, and so that we believe that probably set him off, and he's been on the run for about a week and a half.
Okay, Detective Weed, thanks for your time. Wish you the best in apprehending this guy. Mike, as always, thank you. Coming up, I want to hear from